take 3. In case you didn't know, 2 videos before this just stopped recording and was gone. I don't know if I hit the wrong button. Don't know what happened. I'm a big dummy, but we're gonna get our way through this. This third time is a charm. So here we go. Take 3. F150 update, and also gonna be kind of a muffler review for the Flowmaster FlowFX. Man, it's like 50 bucks. But so this is an update on the turbo build. The truck's actually done. It runs, it drives. Already got it retuned. Probably should have this video sooner, but man, we had a storm come through and it wreaked havoc on this place. It was ridiculous. I'm telling you, it was Saturday. Weather was great. They were having a Nitro Harley race in Evadale. Was almost kind of thinking about going out to it, but I kept looking at the forecast. They're like 20% chance of rain. I was like, man, 20% is going to be right on top of Evadale. If I drive out there, I already know it. I'm just going to stay home. Well, I don't know, probably 8-ish o'clock, all freaking hell broke loose. It started getting windy. I mean, next thing I know, the basketball goal's laying on his back. The trampoline's flipped over. The trees are whipping. Trees are falling. The power goes out. And next thing you know, we're without power for days. I think the highest recorded wind gust here, right here in Lumberton, was 82 miles an hour. It was a mother of a storm. Mother Nature came through and said, hey, hold my beer, watch this. So I can whip the phone around and show you. I guess I can't. Screw it. I'll whip the phone around. I can show you the piles of limbs and trees I've got hacked up. That, I mean, the one I'm pointing at right now is pretty much the top half of that tree. It came off. It's what knocked the power line down. Top half of this tree came off, landed in the driveway. Had to drag it out with my truck, cut it up just so I can get out the next morning. Piles. There's piles on the other side of the race car trailer over here. It's been days of freaking work, coming home from work, working some more, cutting all this stuff up so, you know, I can have a yard again. But back to the F-150 build. It is a done product. I say done-ish, but you know, $40 Amazon turbo blanket. Man, this thing, it knocks temperature way down. I think even after a hard pull, I only temp this thing at like 230, so it works great for 40 bucks. Yeah, it doesn't fit the best. I'm actually missing a spring right here because it has like 2 springs that just pull, go underneath and grab this side, but it's staying on because it fits pretty good. It's Ford T4, but you know, put a little heat insulator on the battery to try to help. But you know, 3.5-inch exhaust comes off, goes down, follows the firewall, goes under the truck, gets under the truck. I got it pretty much wrapped all the way down to here, goes under the truck, goes all the way back to that big 3.5-inch Flowmaster FlowFX. And then I actually thought about doing a fender dump, you know, doing the whole hole outside, because I thought it would look cool, but I was like, man, it's my daily driver. It's a street truck. It's my sleeper-ish. You know, because it's kind of hard to be a sleeper when you start hearing this whistling noise, when you start accelerating, and people are like, you might have something going on under the hood. But, you know, I did, but didn't want the exhaust sticking out the fender. You know, it would look cool, I think, but it kind of halfway defeats the purpose. So I got the exhaust just dumping right out the, you know, just kind of blowing out between the tire and the fender here, or as close as I can get it between the tire and the fender. You know, it's actually pretty quiet for a cheap muffler, but you know, that's the truck. Intercooler actually fit better than I thought. You can kind of see it tucked behind the grill. I had trimmed the grill just a little bit, not anything you can see, but just because these fins were kind of really deep, so I had to knock the back edges of these fins off so they would sit up there. We're gonna do something for airflow in this area here, but I just don't know what I'm gonna do, because Buddy's got a hole punch that will actually cleanly punch holes, but I don't think holes, just straight up, you know, round holes will look good in the front of this truck. It's too square. I'm thinking about doing like a big, just, you know, squarish opening. You know, I think that would look better in holes. Just kind of relocate the license plate over here or something off of one of these sides. But I think the squarish opening would look better than just holes. You know, it had this number 10 last time off this back valve cover, this pink one from my boy Adam. But, you know, it had that number 10, but I added one on this side just to make sure it's breathing good. This is actually you can get this off Amazon. It was like 20 bucks, I think. It screws into your oil cap, your oil fill hole. And it has like a little open air filter that clamps on. It's like a 3/8 filter. It doesn't flow real good, but it's better than nothing if you need it. But I lopped it off smooth, welded a number 10 bung to it, drilled it out so it'd flow good, and then run my number 10, you know, underneath the cover across to this tank so it can breathe. But that's that. This is where the video ended last time. I went to set the phone down to try to start the truck up so y'all can hear the muffler and how it sounds. And that's where the video clicked, so hopefully I don't do it again. That would be really, really great if it don't. I think it was my tire that I leaned it up against it, made it shut off. We'll try it again. So I'm going to try to set this down. If it shuts off again, I was going to be mad. Let me get these leaves out of the way. Maybe that was it. Don't shut off, phone. Don't shut off. Don't shut off. Sweet, y'all are still active. Now, if y'all watching that for the review on the muffler, no, it's going to sound different for every truck application, I should say, because for one, if you run naturally aspirated, you're probably not going to run a 3.5 inch single in, single out. You're probably going to run like a 3, maybe dual 2.5s, but you know, it's going to make it sound different if it has stock manifolds versus headers. Because, you know, this is a turbo manifold, so everything goes through one manifold. So I believe it's going to make it sound a little bit different. You know, manifolds tend to have a little more of a, I guess like a blop, 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 blop sound, versus a header has more of a pop, pop, pop sound. Because, you know, the difference in how the actual exhaust merges 4 into 1. You know, it merges to a big collector, it merges right at the collector, not just everything goes through one log. So, you know, is it quieter than I like it to be? Yeah, but I'm thinking over time it's going to get a little bit louder. So, man, for like a $50 muffler, it sounds really good. I like it. It would probably sound better on naturally aspirated motor because they have a little more pop to them, you know, and it's not going to be 3.5 inch, you know, because you don't want to go small on pipe because it kind of causes a little bit of a flow restriction. But exhaust ain't as important as some people actually put it off to be in naturally aspirated applications. I'm going to say it right now. Turbo, you know, applications, man, you don't want no back pressure. The least, the better. But in naturally aspirated applications, you can actually, restrict them a hair and not really affect much power output. I've seen, I think Engine Masters actually did a whole video on superchargers and exhaust, and it was actually kind of crazy on how little it actually picked up. Like, they had a supercharger application motor. I think they had stock manifolds on it, and they were making, I can't remember, I mean, maybe it would change if you were making 800, 1,000 horsepower, but they were making, like, I want to say around the 600-700 horsepower range with this engine, with supercharger on manifolds, and then they put headers on it, and it picked up not even 10 horsepower. Because I think on supercharger applications, it's like the air is being forced in, so the exhaust is going to force its way out. It's just the air is going to force the exhaust out. So it's like, supercharger application is not as critical, but I think that all varies on the horsepower output of the engine. If you're making 600 horsepower to 4-cylinder, yeah, you better have some exhaust flowing. 600 horsepower V8, that's not that much. It's 300 per side. It's not that much. You ain't gonna have dual 3.5s to run it. But like I say, if that FlowFX was on a 3-inch exhaust system on naturally aspirated 6-0, it would probably be kind of raspy, have a good throat to it. But 3.5 on a turbo manifold. That's why it sounds so deep and kind of quietish. Because I'm not forcing air through it, it's just flowing through. But anyways, that's the update on the build. That's the review on the muffler, we'll call it. Man, I hope y'all like the video. Give me a thumbs up, hit me in the comment sections. I try to answer back whenever I see them. YouTube doesn't always notify me, I swear. But just hit me up if you got questions on, if you're thinking about doing this on your truck and you got questions on how I did something, I'll do my best to help you out. As always, thank y'all for watching the video, and until next time, YouTube.